Hey, what's up, folks? Blitzball Champ is back with a new video here on the U to the 2. I just wanted to do a quick video, just talk a little bit about the most recent Sony PlayStation State of Play that took place a few days ago. And also want to give my overall thoughts on the Final Fantasy VII announcements, because those were what really caught my attention the most, in a good way and in a bad way, and I'll explain during this video. But first, starting off, the state of play itself. There was only really a few games that really caught my attention that I wanted to give shout outs for. Um, First was Sifu. That game looked really cool. It kind of gave me that thought about. Do y'all remember that PS2 game, Rise to Honor? Jet Li's Rise to Honor. That's what it kind of puts me in the mind of with like the combat, but it definitely looks really cool. Um, kind of gives like that action movie type of vibe, especially with the hallway scene. How it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Raid. So I'm definitely looking forward to that game. That game looked pretty cool, and it's got combat, it's got martial arts in it, so that already got me interested. So definitely looking forward to Shifu. Definitely want to play that. Um, the other game that I really am gonna keep my eyes on was Kenna and the Bridge of Spirits. Uh, Thought that was a pretty interesting game. I love the visuals. Definitely love the visuals, and it kind of gives me that platformer RPG kind of vibe to it. So I definitely look forward to checking that out. But I really love the visuals of this game. So this is a game I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out on. But mad kudos on the visuals. Um, Death Loop, I thought was pretty interesting. Um, I'm kind of at a crossroads with that. I mean, I like some of the weapons that they showed off, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm keeping up hope for it because it looks like it could potentially be a fun game to play with friends. So Deathloop, I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on, but it looks like a fun game to play with friends. So that's mainly the reason why I'm keeping my eyes on it. Um, I really okay. Returnal. I just it kind of puts me in the mind of Anthem a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. I haven't played Anthem, but Anthem was a game that I was super hyped about when I first saw trailers of it. And then, of course, Anthem didn't end up doing too well. But I saw a lot of gameplay because one of my good friends had Anthem and played it quite a bit, and I'm just it kind of gives me that mind of it kind of puts me in mind of that really fast paced gameplay that Anthem had, and that's what I kind of noticed the most about Returnal. But I mean, it's interesting, but I don't see myself getting into it. I just don't. If I can be honest, I don't really see myself getting into it. But we'll see. We'll see. I may wait until it comes out, see what kind of reviews it gets before I take a shot at it. But for sure, Sifu and Kina in the Bridge of Spirits, definitely keeping my eye out on. Deathloop, give or take as well. But those are really the those are really the only games that really caught my attention. in the state of play outside of Final Fantasy, which we'll go ahead and segue into that. Okay, so they announced two mobile games. There were two mobile games for Final Fantasy VII. You have Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which is a mobile battle royal style game, which apparently this takes place 30 years before the events of Final Fantasy VII. Um, yeah, this. I mean, really, the only battle royal games that I've played, I've done a teeny bit of Fortnite, which I regret, and I've played some Apex Legends. So, I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I love the Final Fantasy VII story and such, and I've played other parts of the series. I've played Crisis Core. I've played Dirge Cerberus. I mean, if this is a straight up battle royale game, and there's no sort of story mode or anything with it, then I really don't have much of an interest in it. I mean, if it's just a straight up battle royale multiplayer style game, then I don't see myself getting into it. I really don't. I really don't see myself getting into it. And then the other mobile game that they announced was Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, which pretty much it's a single player game that pretty much takes you through the whole entire Final Fantasy VII timeline. I guess chapter style. They have it broken off into chapters. Um, I mean, I could see this as being good for those, I guess, that have never played a Final Fantasy game. Just they want to get caught up in the story. I mean, it definitely looks interesting. I don't play much, if any, for mobile games. Like, I have an iPhone. Like, I don't really play mobile games because, I have a 3DS, I have a Switch, I have a PlayStation Vita, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I might keep an eye on this one. I might actually keep an eye on this one because the events include the original game and like each of the compilation titles. So I would assume that would mean Doja Cerberus and Crisis Core. So I'm assuming that this Ever Crisis is going to cover the whole entire timeline of Final Fantasy VII. I guess up to Advent Children, either Advent Children or Dirge of Cerberus. I don't get which one was before which, but I think Dirge of Cerberus was afterwards. I could be wrong, but but yeah. So I'll probably keep an eye on that, and hopefully they'll give some more news about that as well, like about the gameplay and such. But I'll keep an eye out for that. And then we got Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Now, there's some good and there's some bad with this. Um, I'll go ahead and get into the good. Now, of course, this is being ported to the PlayStation 5 with, the better graphics, the smoother textures, and the frame rates and all that. So, better looking game on the PS5. Um, if you have a copy of the remake on PS4, you can upgrade to PS5 free. If you have the PlayStation 5, you can upgrade to that for free. Um, Not only are you getting the original game itself, but you're getting an extra episode featuring Yuffie Kizaragi from Wu Tai. And There's a new character featured named Sonon. Sonon, I think Sonon Kidagame or something like that. I forgot what his last name was, but Sonon. And apparently, this episode takes place during the time when, after the time when Cloud fell through the church in the slums after the second uh, Mako reactor bombing mission. So this will be really, really interesting. But you pretty much play the role of Yuffie in this episode, which in the original game, you really didn't get a chance to, meet Yuffie or get to acquire her until you got to the world map. You could actually get her in the any of the forest areas near the Junin Harbor. Like pretty much, if you got past the Mithril caves, then you could go into any of the world map forest areas, and you could encounter her that way. But but yeah, you get a chance to play with Yuffie in this special episode in Midgar. So I thought that was pretty cool. They showed some gameplay with you moving around with her and throwing her shuriken and just her in battle, and Sonon also in battle as well. So looked pretty cool. It's definitely an interesting take. And you also got to see Barrett and Tifa as well, because of course they're back in the Sector 7. Well, after the whole event with the second bombing mission of the Mako reactor happened. So this is definitely really interesting. And I wonder how much more hours will be added of gameplay with this new chapter, with this new episode. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But here's where the bad comes in. Here's where the bad comes in. Number one, you can only play this episode on PS5. The bad thing about that is, I don't know if y'all have been able to, but I haven't been able to get a PS5 because of the dang on jerk douchebag scalpers. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if any of y'all are watching this video, if you're a scalper, you're the scum of the earth. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. If you're a scalper, you're the scum of the earth. Anyway, the fact that you can only access this episode with upgrading to a PS5, just, it's really kind of a bummer. I feel like they could have easily added this as DLC to the remake currently. Especially now with the remake, I believe, is about to become a PlayStation Plus freebie for the month of March. Not only that, this game has been heavily discounted for quite a bit now. So it just sucks that, having to upgrade to PS5 for this one episode, which there's no telling how long this episode will be, just doesn't make sense to me. And then you also have to account that if they're doing this, then I think it's safe to say that the next part of the Final Fantasy VII remake is going to be on PS5 and only PS5. So, if you don't have a PS5 by that time, then, you're pretty much screwed. And I just don't like that. I feel like this was a really bad move on Square Enix. I mean, I understand the whole trying to, get folks to make the switch. And I would totally make the switch to PS5 if they were easy to get. But they're not. They're not. there's still people to this day still trying to get a PS5. So, I mean, just while the game, what they showed in the trailer of it on PS5 looks beautiful. And of course, you being, if you have a PS4 copy, the potential to upgrade to the PS5 for free, which is cool. But this particular episode, which you have the opportunity for all the Final Fantasy VII Remake owners to have and play, and now you've dumbed that down to a small percentage of them, because not all of them are going to have PS5s by June 10th. They're not going to all have PS5s by that time. So let's keep it real. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I want to go all in on this, but it's hard when you make something like this partially available to the point where you have to spend the money on a console in order to get that extra episode. And then, like I said, it only gives me the idea that the next part of the remake itself is going to be on PS5. It's not going to be on PS4. That's my guess. So I just think that's kind of a bummer. I really do, because seeing Yuffie, that excited me. It's like, oh snap, she's getting an episode. They're tying this into the story. Something that we didn't get to see in the original. I mean, this is great. This is new. I want to play, but unless I can score a PS5, that ain't gonna happen. So I just think that's so annoying. I think that's really, really annoying. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. How do y'all feel about the state of play, the recent state of play from Sony? How do y'all feel about the Final Fantasy VII games upcoming? I mean, it seems like Square Enix has no shame in milking people for their money. So, yeah, not always a good look. It usually isn't a good look, but then again, you already have a lot of people that aren't going to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake until it's all released. So, I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all agree with Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and how they're, going to be delivering it? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. And thank you for watching. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.